This week marked the one-year anniversary of President Trump recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital city and moving the U.S. embassy there, as promised for decades by other presidents.
All right, Fox and Friends weekend co-host Pete Hegesth just sat down with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to talk about this and much more.
That's right. Pete joins us now with a sneak peek. He's back.
Yes, back. In fact, last night I was at the Western Wall with lighting of the menorah for the 5th day of Hanukkah with the Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu, and our U.S. Ambassador, David Friedman. It's the first time the menorah has ever been lit at the Western Wall with a U.S. official. I mean, more symbolism a year later of how closely these two countries are linked. And that's what I asked Bibi Netanyahu about in a portion of the interview. 1 year later, has it changed the U.S.-American relationship? Listen. How much does America mean to Israel, and how much has the last year meant after President Trump's decision?
Our relations with the United States are based on a deeper thing, the deepest of bonds. It's the bond of values, of a common heritage, of a belief in a common destiny, of freedom and democracy and truth. And this has been the basis of America's support for Israel from day one when President Truman recognized Israel. Yes. That was a historic decision. And President Trump's proclamation is a historic decision which carried the relationship to even higher ground. Israel's relations with the United States have never been stronger.
He says the relationships have never been stronger. You see that through the relationship on the ground with the U.S. ambassador and when President Trump went and visited with Bibi Netanyahu. But like our president, there are investigations going on over there.
We asked you about that yesterday.
You asked me about it yesterday, and so I felt the obligation to ask Bibi Netanyahu about that as well, about the fact that there are investigations on him and why he fights. Listen. If you go to the States today, you read headlines about a president under investigation. You come here, I see headlines of a president under investigation. How are you taking on the flood of that?
Well, look, I won't tell you it's the nicest thing in the world, but I'm confident that the truth will out. And when I'm confident about the truth you see, historical truth and present-day truth. The truth will out. The good guys win.
Why do you fight the way that you do?
Because I think that my generation has a special mission. It's different from my father's generation. They re-establish what was lost. And my generation's mission is to protect what was returned, to have the country grow, thrive, be strong, and never to face the fear of destruction again.
This is certainly a man on a mission, and if you ask him, his supporters, they say his critics in the media, they can't beat him at the ballot box, so they're trying to beat him with trumped-up witch hunt-like investigations based on cigar and champagne and old relationships from the past that they're now bringing up because he is so popular, now 10 years as the prime minister. But that's just a portion of our interview. We're going to, tomorrow on Fox and Friends Weekend, I asked him about our trip we took together up to the northern portion of Israel to see new terror caves from Hezbollah. We rode in his Israeli Defense Force helicopter with his security detail. He has great security detail, by the way.
He does.
And we were able to interview him about that as well as go see some of the briefings up there.
Some of this for Fox Nation?
And then some of this on Fox Nation, too. Actually, the largest part of that interview, about 12 minutes plus of it, was about Jerusalem and the battle for Jerusalem, that historic city. You know, Jews, Christians, Muslims all see it as a center place of their faith. Well, there's a lot of politics and a lot of excavation and a lot of finger pointing and a lot of stress still in those locations, holy sites. For Fox Nation, we're going to have an in-depth documentary.
What was it like for you to go to the Holy Land?
Well, it's amazing. It's my 4th time there. I've spent a lot of time in Jerusalem. I love the city and the relationship we have to the Jewish people, and I think we're going to get a chance to tell a deeper story about why it's still so relent today on Fox Nation. So get it, Fox Nation.
And you'll be anchoring this weekend? We'll see more of it tomorrow?
I'll be here with Ed. I'm stuck with him for 8 hours.
Yeah. And then you go see him in the green room.
Yeah, I'll go see him right now.
All right.